On Friday the 5th of September, Sussex Police engaged with commercial vehicle users just off the A23 at Hand Cross to explain, educate and enforce legislation around load security. It follows the tragic death of 11-year-old Harry Dennis, who was killed by an insecure scaffold plank which fell from a van in East Sussex in 2022. Sussex World was invited to see the operation in progress and speak to Harry's mother, Maria Dennis, as well as Barry Freeman of the Sussex Police Commercial Vehicle Unit.
December 22, Harry was in a car accident, a tragic accident. A scaffold board came off the back of a flatbed truck that wasn't secured, came through the windscreen, and we lost Harry. So I'm here to talk to drivers, tell them about what happened to Harry, and try and get them to think, educate them, to prevent it happening again to somebody else.
And just tell us about Harry. What kind of person was he?
Harry was a whirlwind. He was non-stop. The only time he was stopped was when he was asleep. He was always, from the minute he woke up, "Where are we doing? What are we doing?" He'd do everything at 100 miles an hour. Couldn't even sit and watch the telly. He'd be up and about, and he loved his sport. He loved his football. He loved his bike, his BMX. When he was at school, he'd take part in the athletics. He would take part in any sport. Netball. He was in a netball tournament. He loved it, and he had so many different friends. He was only 11, but he was right from football. He met so many people, and he loved to make people laugh.
And why was it important for you to be here today to obviously spread this really important message to drivers to make sure their load is secured?
I feel people don't always think about their consequences. I've been driving 30 years, I know what I'm doing. This is how I've always loaded my van. Nothing's happened yet. I'm busy. I don't have time to tell these drivers. Actually, Harry is living proof that this does happen. Unsecure loads do come off the back of vehicles, and Harry's living proof that does happen. Yeah. And just from a real point of view, I'm here talking to them. It's happened to us. It's happened to Harry. And do you want to be held responsible for the death of a child, an adult, for anybody? You've got to live with that on your conscience for the rest of your life. I'm talking to the drivers, and the most common answer is, "Oh, I'm busy."
Yeah.
The manager's always rushing me out the yard, or "I've got to get to a job, and I've got to do this." Actually, for the sake of a couple of extra minutes, checking your load, double checking it, securing it down, covering it with a net. Now it takes a couple of minutes, and you know 100% that load's not going anywhere. You're keeping yourself safe, you're keeping everyone safe. I'm just hoping that message gets out. See, there's 15 different forces across the UK, so the word's spread far and wide. And the people that have been stopped today, hopefully they go back and tell the people they work with, tell their friends they've been stopped. Even if they're having a moan that it was an inconvenience, they're getting the story across that way. So just get everyone talking about what happened to Harry, what happened to us, and just moving forward. I've been put forward to Parliament. It's with all the police data, but it's the light goods vehicles that seem to be the issue, and I would like a legislation, a policy, like the larger vehicles, that they have to adhere to. Like, for them to follow a policy, they have to be overruled by somebody, and you have to go to them to prove that you're trained the same as the big vehicles. You have proper training on load security, on the weight of your van, everything else that the larger vehicles have to apply with. You've got someone to answer to. You can't just say, "Oh, I didn't know." You've had training. You know there's no excuse. So I think they need to follow. Same as Europe. Europe have recently changed that. Anything over 3.5 tonne, they have to follow legislation. So I think we should do the same.
And just finally, if you could speak directly to drivers, what's your lasting message that they should hear from you, as someone that's been so badly affected by someone just obviously not putting on one extra strap?
Do it for Harry, my boy, my shining star, my little live wire. He can't live the rest of his life. He can't do all the things we've done, going out, living his best life, playing football, all those things, that's been taken away from him. So before you jump in your van, jump in your truck, go around that vehicle, think of Harry, and make sure everything's as secure as it can be.
What are the main goals of today's operation? What can you tell us is happening today?
So today's operation is Operation Rule. It's around load security and insecure loads on vehicles. The message we're trying to get out today is that people need to take that extra time to secure their load, and we're giving education here today as to how they can do that successfully. But the message is really just take that extra 5 minutes to secure their load.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously know that there's been a tragic case of Harry Dennis 2022.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that and how that's kind of inspired what's happening today.
Yeah, so we've had a sort of an increase of at least 5 fatalities with load security in the last 5 years, and the most poignant one was the death of 11-year-old Harry Dennis in Who, near Bexhill.
Yeah.
So as a result of that, Maria, his mum, has approached us and said, I want to get on board with helping you to try and prevent an extra death, if you like. So that's driven us, as well as we had stuff going on in the background, but to focus our efforts around load security. And last year we did this up the same day 12 months ago, and we got a load of statistics. We had 20 forces last year get on board, and we managed to get a picture nationally as to what areas we needed to focus on. As a result of that, the last 12 months we've focused our efforts on those groups. So today is a checkpoint really, so we can look 12 months on, have we made a difference, what we need to do moving forward, and carry on with this drive with education and going into companies and checking and speaking to drivers.
Yeah, is this kind of a one-off, or is there going to be more frequent events like this taking place?
There is always frequent events going on. Like for me, this is my day-to-day business. This is my bread and butter, is insecure load. So just although we're highlighting it today, every day of the week I'm making sure that I'm stopping vehicles if I spot an insecure load.
Yeah.
And mainly educating the drivers. But I do a lot of toolbox talks going into companies and working with them, the managers, transport managers, and their staff, and ultimately give them explanations of we're not out here just trying to make their day harder. It's as a result of poor little Harry, do you know what I mean? And they get to see that on the PowerPoint.
Yeah. What are you looking out for in those inspections?
So any sort of load, so any open back vehicle really where the load needs to be secure, it can be a closed back, but predominantly it's open back vehicles, so drop side lorries, transits, etc., where they will have sort of construction materials, landscaping equipment, where you've got your chainsaw laying loose in the back, or could be a builder's bucket, a wheelbarrow. If National Highways were here today, they'll be telling you how many, something like 6,000 wheelbarrows they pick up over the UK on the strategic road network in a 12-month period, how many ratchet straps they pick up at the carriageway, ladders that blow off the back and they have to go and collect them from lane 2 of the M25. So there's a various of things. Obviously today we're focusing on scaffold vehicles with poles and tubes that are loose, as the one we've got over the back just come in here now. But it's it could be any open back vehicle. They just need to spend that 5 minutes putting a net over to secure the load.
Yeah, no, that's great. And you must be kind of pleased to have the support of Maria, who's obviously had such a tragic event happen to her, to really show the dangers and what can happen if people don't follow the advice.
Yeah, that's correct. I'll say she's a phenomenal lady. To do this after losing her son, it is just unbelievable for me. Like that she can put that into a separate box and do it, and come out and talk to these drivers. But it gives it from another perspective. So rather than me standing here in a uniform and saying, you should do it this way or should do it that way, they can see the other side of it.
Yeah.
And as I've said to most of the others today, most drivers get up in the morning and don't go, do you know what, I fancy going out and killing someone today. It's as a set of circumstances that have gone wrong.
Yeah.
So it might just be that one strap, as in Harry's case, if that driver had put one strap on that load, Harry would still be here. So a strap's £10, if that. So, at the end of the day, we're asking them just to put that one strap on, spend that extra 2-3 minutes doing their load security before they drive off.